Tonight we're going to talk about the platypus. Step by step, I'd like you guys, not a story, not a fairy tale. Well, and don't tell me about the billions of years you need for your fairy tale. What's my pacifiers? Time. Oh yeah, time will turn an amoeba to a platypus. Right. Okay. So let's see. It's obvious when it becomes obvious that evolution cannot offer an explanation without a designer. We'd like you evolutionists to admit you have a religion. That's all. You have a religious belief. You do not have any science on your side at all. There's no scientific indication of how any of the reproductive processes happen by chance. No scientific indication that all the animals came from a rock or an amoeba. You are dreaming. Since some reproduction is seasonal, some is annual, some are stimulated by sight, some by taste, some by sound. If reproduction involves two individuals, does the female assist or resist or persist? Does the plant or animal die soon after its reproductive season? Did the parents assist in raising the babies or providing them food? Some they don't. Hey kid, hatch out of the egg or whatever, you're on your own, boy, hit the road. Some, like kids, you got to feed them till they're 20 or 25 or 30 or some 40 or 50. Okay. Did the parents give them an education or just let them go on their own? How do beavers know how to make a dam? Is that stored in a genetic code? Can memory and information like that go through a genetic code? I'd like to have a good answer for that one. Where is the DNA to show the beaver how to make a dam out of mud and sticks that'll last 100 years? Where is this? When our calves were born up there, within minutes they were standing up, looking for the dinner table and knew where to look. How long did that take to evolve? Yeah, for a long time they wandered off, couldn't find mama. Yeah, millions of years. They all died for millions of years. Okay. Anyway, I'd like some answers to these guys. How many things could go wrong to make it stop working? Any one of thousands of things. 8 species that are bending the rules of reproduction. So I'd like you to help me on this. Pick a plant or animal. Research how they make babies. Does it involve contact or no contact? Is it seasonal or random? Do the babies require care or are they on their own? Are they born alive or in an egg or for a while? 1 parent or 2? Do any require 3 parents? Or 4? Or 7? Or 100? Or 48 genders? No, okay. What is unusual or complex about the entire process from start to finish? You guys can put this together, send me the PowerPoint slides, or send me the information. I'll make a presentation. This is going to go forever, every Friday night for the next 200 years. Because all the animals, there are slight differences with all of them. It's amazing. Okay. Research your plant or animal, include references, collect images, data, prepare PowerPoint slides if you can. Send it to me or bring it to me. You can all join me in this long-term project, making babies. So everyone, young or old, friend or foe, even you atheists, send in your favorite animal, how it makes babies, and tell me how it evolved. Okay. Why would this life form want to reproduce? Why does any life form want to make more babies? It uses lots of resources. It risks harm or death to the parents. It increases competition for resources. Why? What scientific evidence is there to show the millions of steps for how this happened? Don't give me a story. Give me a scientific evidence, okay? How did both the male and female develop at the same time in the same place and have an interest in reproducing? Show scientific, not theoretical evidence for each step. I'm asking something very reasonable, guys, and you know it, but you're afraid of it. I know. Okay. How did both the male and female develop at the same time, in the same place, and have an interest? Which came first, the interest or the ability or the equipment? Let's see. So, the duck-billed platypus. The platypus is one of the few mammals that lays eggs. Strange. How did that evolve? The platypus, one of 5 mammals that lay eggs. The female builds a burrow and lays her eggs there. The eggs gestate for 2 weeks. Then the female platypus incubates the eggs for another 10 days, warming them with her tail. So hold it. Going through several steps here. Lay the eggs in the nest, let them sit for 2 weeks, and then she puts them on between her tail and her body to warm them up for 10 more days. How did she learn how to do that? How long did that take to evolve? See, for a long time, she didn't know you're supposed to warm them up, and they all died. They went extinct millions of times before they evolved. The female helps the egg hatching process along with an egg tooth. a tooth-like structure that the platypus develops to break the shell of the egg. Whoa, whoa, whoa. While the baby's growing inside, it grows a bump on its beak so it can break through the shell. How long did that take? How did that evolve? Come on, guy, atheist. I'd like to know how. You say, well, it works. I know it works. You have to have it to get out. But how did it evolve? Show me the step-by-step process, okay? Evolutionary characteristics of the platypus has from its reptilian days. They would not have got this published if they hadn't added, praise to evolution. You don't get your peer-reviewed stuff published in National Pornographic and stuff like that if you don't praise evolution. So there's the platypus, a face only a mother could love. When they first brought the platypus to the scientists from Tasmania in Australia where they were found, some of the scientists said, somebody sewed the bill of a duck on here. This ain't right. They tried to rip it off. Oh, couldn't believe it. The platypus, what an amazing animal. Let's see. Platypus, sometimes referred to as the duck-billed platypus, is a semi-aquatic mammal. It has hair, gives milk, but the milk oozes out onto the hair and the baby licks it up. No nipples. How did that evolve? Let's see. The geographic range is eastern Australia and Tasmania. Okay. Duck-billed platypus inhabit rivers, lagoons, and streams. They prefer areas with steep banks and certain roots so they can dig in under them, okay? And they like water that's usually less than 16 feet deep. All right. They live 12 years in the wild, about 17 years in captivity. Platypus noted for its odd combination, primitive features, and special adaptations. These are code words they have to throw in or it won't get published. Adaptation. Why can't you guys say, this thing is designed? Matt, why can't they say that? I guess maybe because that would mean there's a designer. You're not allowed to say that. No, not and get published in peer-reviewed journals. No, you got to say adaptate, primitive. What does primitive features mean? That's a code word for it's evolving. You see that? They do this all the time. Okay. Adding to its distinctive appearance are conspicuous white patches of fur under the eyes. I think this is so the light reflects just right, they can see. How many have ever seen football players or baseball players put black spots under their eyes to prevent the sun from reflecting in their eyes? I think God designed that little white patch under there, guys. You won't give him the glory, though, I know. Okay. The platypus tail is fat and flat. Its flatness assists in swimming, functioning almost like a rudder. But the tail is also a fat store. They store fat in there when they don't have food. Platypus have webbed feet. Look at this. They have evolved to have webbed feet. Right. That won't get published if you don't use that word evolved, will it, guys? Try it. I tell you what, you same authors here, write one in same magazine and say, it looks like the platypus webbed feet are designed to swim in water. Then see if it gets published. The web enables them to swim more efficiently and move around on soft, muddy surfaces. Yeah, it works good. One of the few species of venomous mammals. The male platypus has a spur on his hind foot that delivers a venom capable of causing severe pain in humans. Well, now hold it. This one claw is hollow to allow the venom to come out, and it goes to a gland in his leg. Which evolved first? The gland, the claw, or the tube connecting them? Or the ability in the brain to know, I better poke that guy to make him leave me alone. Doesn't he have to make a decision on that? Does he go around poking all the trees? No, probably not. He waits till it's an enemy, doesn't he? So did the part of the brain develop first and then he didn't have anything to poke him with? Or he had to poke her but no poison? You guys just don't get it. You just see it and say, well, it must have happened as it evolved. No. Platypus is one of the few mammals known to have sense of electroreception. It locates its prey in part by detecting body electricity. 40,000 receptors in stripes on its bill. So it can sense electrical signals from see, when an animal contracts its muscles, it gives off an electrical signal. The platypus can sense that with his bill. Muscles of prey create small electric signals. So the shrimp is crawling around down there, whatever he's going to eat, as the thing is flexing its muscles to get away, platypus says, oh, there he is. And they can turn their head back and forth and locate where's the critter swimming at. It's one of few mammals have sense of electroreception. It locates its prey by detecting body electricity. How did that evolve? Doesn't our military spend a lot of money trying to develop stuff like this so they can find enemy by all kinds of things? Here is a baby Democrat platypus. Here's the baby Republican platypus. Difference? This one has his eyes open now. Think about it. Okay. This is a baby platypus. How did it get here? I'd like step by step, guys. How did this thing evolve? The ability to have the tail store fat, the ability to have hair on its body, and the ability to lay eggs and have these web feet and the spike to poke his enemies. Platypus has 26 pairs of chromosomes compared to 23 pairs in humans. 26 pairs of chromosomes. Let's see. Unlike most mammals, which have a single pair of sex chromosomes, XY, the platypus actually has 5 pairs of sex chromosomes that form a chain during cell division. Individuals with an XXXXXXX chromosome are females. Those with XY arrangement are males. Very strange chromosome. How did that develop from an amoeba? Come on, guys, give me a scientific answer, not a just so story or answer, okay? It turns out the male platypus has 5 XY chromosomes, and none of them are homologous to the XY of human or mouse. But it's still a mammal, isn't it? But the chromosomes are very different. 10 sex chromosomes pair with each other in a head-to-tail manner and form a chain during meiosis when sperm cells develop. The development of the sperm cells and the DNA structure of this thing is stunning. I'd like to know, how did this happen by chance? Don't tell me a story. I don't need a long ago and far away, or where to go. There you go. Billions and billions of years ago. I don't know. This is a story, guys. Come on. Let's see some science. You claim you like science. Okay. Show me the science for how the platypus developed the unusual chromosomes that it has. Where's the science behind it? And just drawing a line between that and some other animal is not science. Show me how this happened, okay? They found a skeleton of a skull of a platypus supposed to be 120 million years old, and it was identical to the ones today. Okay, atheist. First place, it's not 120 million years old. All the fossils, or nearly all of them, formed in the flood of Noah 4,500 years ago. No fossils are millions of years old. But even by using your twisted logic, why hasn't it changed? No, they'll say, well, it was right. It was perfect back then, so it didn't need to change. I understand. God made everything perfect. Nothing has changed in a major way. Dogs are still making dogs. Cows are still making baby cows. Nothing has changed. Nothing. You draw lines on paper connecting them. That ain't true. That's not science. Platypus evolution game for children. Look at this. Platypus evolution games. The religious zealots in the Church of Charlie Darwin never miss an opportunity to push their silly religion off on innocent children. You should Google games for children about evolution. There are hundreds of them. Kindergarten teachers, first grade teachers are using this. The kids are learning about evolution before they can read. Get a 4-year-old and say, when did dinosaurs live? What will his answer be? Millions of years. Folks, the brainwashing is overwhelming. And it's time Christians take it back. My wife said to me, we were driving today somewhere, and she said, I guess with Bobby, and we ought to do more children's books on dinosaurs. I agree. I've done several. Check our bookstore, drdino.com. We need some of you authors and some of you teachers of preschool, kindergarten age, first grade. Write some books from God's perspective about creation. Got to overcome this insanity that's going around our world, teaching them they came from a rock. Okay. Little is known about what drives sexual selection in platypus. Females don't appear to be picky with their choice of mates, and probably assume that the male in the area is the biggest and strongest. Thomas said, adding that the female at the Healesville Sanctuary captive breeding program will court and mate with any male presented to her. Adult platypus pairs engage in a courtship ritual that lasts several weeks and takes place up to 6 weeks before mating occurs. That's pretty unusual for animals to hang around each other that long, isn't it? Usually it's, hey, hello, ma'am, how you doing? Okay, let's go, you know. That's about it for most. It's a bit of a dance, Thomas said. Males will try to court females by biting on the female's tail, but the female will flee if she's not ready. Until that point, she may hang out in the same area, feeding pond as the male, but won't allow him to make physical contact with her. After the female has decided to accept her potential mate, she will allow him to bite on the tail, and she will respond by biting on his tail. They will then swim in a circle, Thomas said. They will also engage in other aquatic courtship activities such as diving, rolling sideways together, swimming near each other, sometimes for a few days, before finally mating. To copulate, the male will climb partially onto the female's back, curl his tail under her abdomen, bring the reproductive cloaca of the waist and reproductive organ. Now that's interesting. They're very different than other mammals. They bring them close together. The male will then insert his penis, hidden in the cloaca, into the female's cloaca for fertilization. The process can take 10 minutes. After mating, the female will ignore all other mating attempts during that breeding season. She's done. And the male may go on to find other females. Interestingly, the platypus is one of only 2 types of mammals that lay eggs. So let's get the video here, how they swim around. Let's see, PowerPoint right here, and enter. So the platypus play with each other for a while, poke each other around for a couple of weeks, get to know each other, I guess. He bites her tail, has to bring his reproductive organs up to hers, mating from the backside. How did this evolve? See, for millions of years, they didn't know how to make them match up. They all died. Couldn't figure out. Okay. Eating the food off the top of the pond. There we go. Okay. So I would like an evolutionist to give a simple answer. How did this evolve? Female reproductive tract of the platypus. You think all that came about by chance. No designer. Nobody made it. Then she lays eggs, which are really tiny. The baby hatches out of the egg, so it goes through the egg stage for a short time, gestation period, only pregnant for 10 to 14 days. The women are thinking, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, and have a baby that big, that'd be great too. Well, it ain't that way with humans, okay? Eggs hatch in about 10 days. Platypus infants are the size of lima beans and totally helpless. Females nurse their young for 3 to 4 months until the babies can swim on their own. The platypus is weirder than you ever imagined. The improbable platypus. 7 facts that prove these monotremes break all the rules. Let's see. So the mother, the milk just oozes out onto her fur. No nipples. The baby licks it up from the folds of the skin. She holds the baby next to her body, and the baby finds where the milk is running into the grooves and licks it up. Platypus females do not have nipples to suckle the young platypus. They have milk patches similar to the areola that produce milk. The female platypus secretes the milk through her pores in a manner very similar to sweating. How did that evolve? Why not like all the rest of the mammals, okay? Males take no part in rearing the young. Females construct specially built nursery burrows where they usually lay 2 small leathery eggs. Gestation is at least 2 weeks, possibly a month, and incubation of the egg takes perhaps another 6 to 10 days. Female incubates the eggs by curling around them with her tail touching her bill. How did she know to do that? And if the baby is a baby girl that grows up, does mother teach her? Now, when you have your own babies, be sure to do this. Or is something instinctive? Have you evolutionists ever tried to explain instinct, which is in millions of animals? Each tiny platypus hatches from the egg with the aid of an egg tooth, a holdover from a reptilian past. Yeah, you got to say that or you don't get published. All right, National Geographic. They're dedicated to teaching evolution. The young suck milk from special mammary hairs and remain protected in the burrow, suckling for 3 to 4 months before becoming independent. Hatchlings often weight increase by a factor of 20 in the first 14 weeks of life. Wait. It goes up in 14 weeks to 20 times its birth weight. If a baby today is born at 8 pounds and 14 weeks later it was 160 pounds. I think everybody would say, whoa, that thing grew fast. They possess vestigial teeth that are shed shortly after the young platypus leaves the burrow to feed on its own. Males and females both become fully grown between ages 12 and 18 months. And then sexually mature at 18 months. Year and a half old, ready to go have their own babies. They are long-lived for small mammals. Some studies have documented individuals living more than 20 years in the wild. Platypus can survive nearly 23 years in captivity. You evolution believers need to give a real scientific explanation how the unusual method of platypus reproduction came about by blind chance. Not just a fairy tale story. Show me some science. You claim you've got science on your side. Here's your chance. I would like to see it. I challenge you. There is no scientific evidence for evolution. None. Okay? Did the male produce the sperm for millions of years for no reason until it learned to only produce when the females were around? Some great architects design expensive houses and put lots of detail to make people say, oh, wow, this guy's good. Yeah? Some great landscapers create expensive yards and put in lots of detail to make people say, wow, this landscaper did a great job. Some auto companies make cars. Everybody goes, wow, turn their head, look at that thing. This guy's good. Some math whizzes solve complex problems, make people say, wow, this guy's smart. Some of the bodybuilders who can lift a zillion pounds and have muscles like mine say, wow, this guy's strong. Cabinet makers make amazing cabinets. They say, wow, this guy's amazing. Some potters take clay from the ground, make amazing pottery. The human organism consists of 11 organ systems. Their integumentary system, that's your skin, skeletal, muscular, nervous, endocrine, etc. Do you really think it all happened by chance? Mr. Nelson, really? Do you ever get alone and just think, wow, we are fearfully and wonderfully made? Does it ever bother you that you've chosen a religion that thinks it happened by chance? Is it possible for a cell phone to happen by chance? Just nobody made it? Is it possible for a rubber band to happen by chance? Is it possible for a key? Could this have happened by chance? How about the ring holding the keys together? Just a ring. How can you guys not see how blind you are? Total number of cells in a human, 30 to 40 trillion cells. When logical people see 40 trillion cells that grow and reproduce and interact with each other, and when they wear out, they make a new one, you should say, wow, this had a smart designer. A cell is so complex, even the high level of technology attained today cannot produce one. You can't make a cell in the laboratory. When logical people see that each of these 40 trillion cells are more complex than anything man can make, you ought to say, wow, what a designer. When God takes clay from the ground and makes a man with 40 trillion complex cells, the atheists say, wow, this all evolved from nothing for no reason. You need your head examined. Go to see a shrink right away. Okay? We talked about the frog, how amazing that is, how amazing the platypus, how amazing the starfish. I think there's a God who made everything. I stand amazed in the presence of Jesus the Nazarene and wonder how he could love me, a sinner condemned unclean. Oh, how marvelous, oh, how wonderful, and my song shall ever be. How marvelous, how wonderful is my Savior's love for me. See, I don't have a problem praising God. I'm the Lord. That's my name. My glory will I not give to another. Sing unto the Lord, all the earth. Show forth from day to day his salvation. Declare his glory among the heathen, his marvelous works among all nations. For great is the Lord, and greatly to be praised. See, I can do that because I haven't surrendered my brain to defend a dumb religion of evolution. All the gods of the people are idols, but the Lord made the heavens. Glory and honor in his presence. Amen. Give unto the Lord the glory due unto his name. Bring an offering, come before him, and worship the Lord. God doesn't need your offering. He doesn't need your worship. You need to worship God to keep yourself humble. He doesn't need your worship. You should, though. Worship him is for you and for me.